Hello, this is Peter Combs from Bidamount.com, and today is Thursday, April 6th, 2017. Earlier today, we did a review, look back at the Sotheby's sales in Hong Kong this week, so if you haven't seen it, go take a look. They had some interesting results. Some were in line with what we thought might happen. It did happen. They had some disappointments, and they had some very good results, too. So take a look. Also, we're going to start doing the newsletter a day or two earlier each week. A couple of people have emailed and wanted to know if we could get it out a little sooner for folks that want to look at things on Saturdays that's the day we normally update the page. So we're going to try and get them done on Fridays or before Friday if we can. All right, but let's take a look and see how eBay did this past week, things that are on there and things that are coming up. There's a Republican vase I want to talk about. For those of you that are in the EU, this was in the newsletter last week, and I want to mention it. A customer of ours had in Hong Kong had some things on with a dealer in the Netherlands, and they had a robbery. And on our site, there is, if you want to learn more about it, a number of the things were things that we had sold them, where the warehouse was broken into over there, and about 40 boxes of Chinese porcelain disappeared, and along with some bronzes. It was a pretty major robbery, so if you're out there and you see any of the, come to the site and look. If you see any of the things, please contact us, and we'll get you in touch with the Dutch police. All right, now on to the results for last week. There was this. This was a really nice, the seller put it up as an 18th century Japanese amari, or Japanese arita dish. It isn't actually, it's a 17th century one. It was made about 1680 or 90. Very nicely decorated. Had a hairline on the back, and I think that scared some people off. It shouldn't have. This is a very early plate. Remember, you have to bear in mind the Japanese didn't even learn how to make porcelain until about 1690. They were 500 or 600 years behind the Chinese, and this was a good example. And there's a lot of these in the Ashmolean Museum. And somebody got a fabulous buy. This plate went for $43.67. So if you're a Japanese Arita collector, you probably missed something here. All right, and we'll move over to this. This was something that was a pair of planters that were put up by a friend of ours down in the south. A nice pair of Daoguan planters with bats and clouds, beautifully done. They're marked on the bases. They came out of a collection down there. Here are the foot rims on it, and just a really nice pair. And they went for $3,938. Beautifully done. And good going. This was Eclectic Mix for You as the seller. They have nice things. They have a good eye, Kenny and his wife. And there were these. I normally don't do too much with rose medallion vases because you see a lot of them. But this was sort of a nice pair. They're only 14 inches tall, which makes them kind of desirable because you could put them on a mantle or you can put them on a shelf or someplace. They're not like the great big ones. You never know where to put them, and the little ones are so small. You know, they're not that interesting. These were nice, and they were in very, very good condition. And they went for $760. So, you know, $350, $400 a piece. You got a nice pair of matched vases. And there was this, another Japanese piece. This was a very good Japanese amari plate. I liked this. It was very pretty, nicely done, soft reds, lots of gilt still on it. It was around 11 or so inches wide. It was in good condition, and went very reasonably. This piece was probably made, you know, in the early mid 18th century, and went for $145 US or 117 pounds. So somebody got a nice piece of amari for their collection if they collect Japanese. It's always a good time to collect Japanese. One of the teapots, I like teapots, and this was a nice teapot. It was I illustrated it in the newsletter because I thought it was so beautifully shaped. The proportions and scale, the handle, the spout, everything on it are really very, very nice. And the decoration was excellent, not overdone, and very well positioned and placed on every aspect. The sprays of flowers. And I think somebody got a nice buy on this. It went for just $213. Very fair price. Sharon, the seller is Sharon 3927. She gets good things. She has a good eye. And then there was this vase. This was about a 10-inch vase in deep cobalt blue. One of these big ribbed monochromes. A nice one with lion mask handles on it. And we'll get a shot of the handles. There they are. Nice thick glaze on it. Lots of pooling and bubbles and whatnot. There's the foot rim. That is we'll get a better shot of the foot. There it is. That is a mid-late 19th century foot for a variety of reasons. If you don't know, one of them is that there's this extensive orange peel. When you see this heavy white sort of orange peel, you should immediately think 19th century at least, or late 19th century. And the foot is very typical of these late 19th century pieces with this browning and toning in it. And it has a chin-lung mark, and it's actually done quite well, but it's not a chin-lung vase. But it brought $4,000, and one of the reasons is the Chinese buyers love marked pieces, even if they're not marked in period, as long as the mark is done well. It drives the market. And then over in the Netherlands, our friends over there, the Ceramics and Collectibles is their username on eBay, but they're also known as Shangri-La. They're dealers. They sell good things. They always have, I don't know, 1,500 things on eBay. This was a good Kangxi plate they had put up. Nice colors, but very nicely painted. I like the scale, the large scale of the flowers, and it's just a well done, good deep blue. And it was a nice example, very attractive example if you collect Kangxi. And it went to somebody for $131.50 plus the shipping. Very reasonable. Those sellers also do a lot of buy it nows, and they're more than willing to negotiate. So if you see something they have and it's a fixed price item, send them an offer. You might be surprised. They like to sell things. This was a Klempitz bowl that they also put up that I caught my eye. I liked it. I like these types of bowls. Wan Li period, late Ming. Very typical decoration. Very well painted, though. Very neatly painted, all within the line, nicely outlined, and not a lot of bleeding of the blue and all that, but in good color tone. It had a couple of hairlines in it or something, but it went for a reasonable price. Went for $405. There you are. And there was this. This was a footed losange-shaped Famille Rose bowl with figures, and again with horses. Everybody knows about me and I love the horses. And this was a nicely done one. Mid-late 19th century. It was about 8 or 9 inches long, maybe 10 inches long. And it went for a very good price, $1,135. It was in perfect condition. Very often these footage bowls have nicks and chips and junk out of them, and most of them aren't that well painted. This one was. Probably might have been Tongxi period. And now we have this. Now we're getting into things that are still on eBay. This is something that's getting an enormous amount of attention. As of today, it's up to $75,000, and it closes tomorrow. It's a really great quinjon-ware Republican vase, signed repeatedly by the artist. There it is. There it is. More signatures. More signatures. There's the foot rim, and it was decorated by what's his name? Chin-Pin Ching. And sorry, I had a little brain lapse there for a minute. That's who we believe it's by, and it's bringing a price that this artist brings. And it closes tomorrow, so I think it's probably going to do very, very well. It was up to $50,000 shortly after it went up. I suspect the sellers had numerous offers to sell it directly, and you might see this thing get up to 90 or so thousand. Don't be surprised, or it may stay right where it is. You never know. And the same seller has this up. He apparently got into a house full of Kongs. This is a very good 18th century cloisonné Kong form vase. With a sort of narrowed mouth and narrowed foot, but it's a good one. Nice quality, and if you flip it over and you see the bottom, that's what the bottom of one of these should look like. Lots of legitimate wear on these pointy little corners here, some darkening underneath. It's gilt bronze, and it's a nice example. And there's the mouth, obviously an old one. There's the foot, nice photographs. And this is going to do pretty well. It already has done well. It's up to $1,933, and it ends on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And there's this. This is something that seems to be languishing behind. It's a rather nice screen, and I think part of the problem is the way it was photographed. You'd think it's sort of a small one of those 3 or 4 inch little table screens. It's not. This is a big one. Here's a picture of it. That's an 11-inch. That's about a 10 or 11-inch plate sitting there. So this is a nice big screen. It's a good example. It's only up to $64, and it closes Saturday. It's got no hairlines, chips, or repairs, according to the seller. And I happen to know this guy. I trust him. And what size is it? I think it's around 13 inches tall. So you might want to give that a look if you like screens. And there is also, this is up. This ends in a couple of days, a day or so. This is very nice, 18th century, maybe a little older. Silk, dragon silk in the waves, beautifully done. Nice colors. I love this apricot, deep apricot color. Lots of good gilt thread in it. There's a detail of it. It seems to be in pretty nice shape. I think it was trimmed off of something else. I don't know what it was. Might have been some sort of table hanging. And it's up to $333 with only one bid. And it's being sold by Head Galleries out in the Midwest. They sell nice things. They're good sellers. And this is a seller named Migulari. We've featured him before, and this is a nice Femme Noir decorated chinlung, and appears to be mark and period as far as we can tell. It sure looks it. Dragon Ball, beautifully done. Nice example. It's got an old, one of those old, collection tags still stuck to it. But this decoration with the dragons, the way he's done, and the way the claws, the arms, the legs are outstretched, all of this looks like looks very legitimate to us. There's the inside of it. The color is good in there. And it's up to 332 pounds or $414. It ends on Sunday. And it's in original condition, apparently. Doesn't have any problems. So if you like marked chinlung period bowls, that might be a good selection. And then we get over to this. This is Egmont Horn. He's got this nice celadon in here. Ming or earlier. Let's take a look at the bottom of this. That's a good looking bottom. It's probably Ming. I agree. I think he's right. Nice example. It's a good incense burner. There we go. It's got a tiny chip out of the rim right there, which he's dutifully marked. But it's a good example. It sits well. It's nicely potted, well proportioned. Good looking celadon. And that's up to $158. It ends also on this coming Sunday. You might want to take a look at that. You can get to it off the newsletter page if you don't know how to find them. And then we have this. This is a very nice Kung Shi period vase. It's good size. I forget how big it is, but that's a little wine cup next to it. So it looks like it's probably about a foot or more tall, with these cut out sort of lotus edge devices, and these scrolling vines with fruit on them coming up. Beautifully done. It's sort of an unusual pattern. And it's up to $566 US. It ends on Sunday. If you like Kung Shi pieces, it's worth looking at. How big is this? Let's see if we can find the measurements quickly. Diameter 12 inches high. And he says it's very heavy. Well, it should be. If it's Kung Shi, they tend to be pretty heavy. All right. And that's it for the week. We'll try to get the newsletter updated before maybe by Friday, if we can, get it on its new schedule. And thanks for watching. And check out the Sotheby's videos. Sign up for the newsletter if you don't, and leave a comment here. And we do try to answer all of them. All right. Have a great weekend, and see you all next time. Bye-bye.